I'm pretty sure you've been seeing it everywhere. The headlines, the chatter, the noise about the housing market and actually what's happening right now. You probably already know what's going on. Ever since the government's new 5% deposit scheme kicked in on the 1st of October, the market has gone absolutely ballistic. And now that we're more than a month into it, we finally know what this scheme has actually done to the market. We've got all the numbers coming through, all the research coming out, and we can literally see how buyers are responding to Albo's 5% deposit scheme, how it's changing different parts of the property market. But here's something that just came out. The data shows this scheme isn't lifting every part of the market. There's one specific section that's responding to it in a way that's completely next level. It's moving faster, it's heating up quicker, and if you're buying a home or investing right now, you need to know which section it is affecting the most. Because I do want to give you this warning, 9 to 12 months from now, even this part of the market will not be affordable anymore. This is where competition is already going through the roof, and if you really understand how the market's responding, you'll also understand where the market is heading. So that means you can plan smarter, you can get your foot into the door, and not only have a roof over your head, but also have an asset that's going to grow in a very short space of time. So stay with me in this video because I'm going to show you exactly which part of the market is exploding right now, why it's happening, what are the factors behind it, and what this means for anyone trying to buy, invest, or hold onto a property in this market. All right, let's start with what changed. On October the 1st, the government expanded the 5% deposit scheme. They removed income caps, lifted price limits, and opened up to basically unlimited places. So suddenly, if you've got 5% saved, you can buy a home without paying lenders' mortgage insurance, and in some cases, you can get into the market with just 2% deposit. Now that sounds like a win, okay? But here's where things get interesting. The latest data shows that 1 in 10 homes sold in October were bought using this scheme. That's 10% of every property sale across the country in just the first month. And in that same month, national home values jumped 1.1%, the fastest rise since mid-2023. So clearly the scheme's had an enormous impact, but not everywhere and not evenly. There's one slice of the market that's taken off like a rocket. Now, when analysts broke the data down, they found something really striking. Homes priced below the new scheme's caps, the ones first home buyers can actually access and afford, outperformed everything else. Those properties grew 1.2% in October, while homes above the cap grew 1%. And that difference, 0.2% or 20% more in other words, might sound small, but it's one of the biggest gaps we've seen in 16 years of data. And the pattern isn't random. In Melbourne's inner west, for example, Kuru, Box Hill, Hawthorne, homes under $950,000 rose 1.7% in just 30 days, while pricier ones barely moved. Some of Perth's inner suburbs, for example, saw cheaper homes jump 1.8%, double the pace of high-end ones. Sydney's northern beaches, for example, eastern suburbs, central coast all showed the same thing, affordable segments outperforming expensive ones. And now I want to show you why that's happening and exactly where this demand is landing. Take a look at this map of Sydney, for example. On the left, you've got houses, and on the right, you've got units. Every yellow suburb you see is where the median home price is below the 1.5 million cap, meaning it qualifies under the 5% deposit scheme. And look at that, about 59% of Sydney suburbs are still under the cap for houses. But the pink areas, those are the suburbs where prices are too high for first home buyers to use the scheme. That means fewer first home buyers, less competition, and slower growth there. But in all of those yellow suburbs, that's where the action is. That's where first home buyers are rushing in. That's where the bidding wars are at their hottest. And that's where you're going to see the most price growth over the next 12 months. Now on the right-hand map, you've got Sydney's unit market. Nearly 95% of Sydney's suburbs are below that $1.5 million cap. So if you want to buy closer to the city, within 10, maybe 20 kilometers of the CBD, it's the units that are still affordable, and that is where demand is heating up. And if you want a house, you're looking 40 to 50 kilometers out, those outer yellow belts, because that's where they still sit under the scheme limit. I talked about this almost 2 months ago, and I said it then, the yellow suburbs are going to grow first. And here we are 6 weeks later. Now guys, this is not just Sydney. We're seeing the same trend across Melbourne, Brisbane and Perth. In Melbourne, it's the middle ring, areas like Sunshine, Dandenong and Craigieburn, where homes are still under the 950K cap. That's where buyers are flooding in. In Brisbane, it's the north side. Those suburbs are around Chermside, Aspley, Nunda, where prices are under the $1 million mark. Again, this is a huge demand spike. And Perth? Perth has gone absolutely nuts. Homes under 850K are being snapped up in record time. The inner suburbs are up nearly 2% in a month, and the pressure's still building. Now, many people thought this would take 3 or 4 months to show up, but absolutely not. We knew that this would have an immediate and strong impact. In fact, we're seeing the numbers in September prior to the 1st of October because so many savvy property investors understood that the impact would come even before the launch date of this scheme. So ultimately, what does this all mean for you? If you're a first-time buyer, these yellow areas are your window, but it's closing fast. Get in while you can because this scheme is funneling thousands of buyers into the same limited pool of affordable suburbs. If you're an investor, this is your early indicator. These are the price brackets where demand will be the hottest over the next 12 months, where rental demand will rise and where capital growth will come the most and the fastest. And if you're a homeowner, this is where you'll see your equity jump first. Especially if you're sitting in one of those eligible suburbs, you're going to enjoy a lot of capital growth in just the next 12 months. Because when you have demand this high and listings this low, prices don't just rise, they accelerate. And I'll say it again, these affordable suburbs won't stay affordable for long. By this time next year, many of these yellow zones will flip pink on this map. You know what's really interesting? This so-called affordable section of the market that everyone's rushing into right now, it's already starting to move at full speed. And if it keeps going like this, it's only a matter of time before this part of the market becomes truly unaffordable. And it makes you ask this question, is this scheme truly helping first-time buyers in the long run, or has it only helped a select number of first-time buyers that are able to get in right now at this time? Because the prices of these properties are going to be forever changed. They're going to grow. They will never come back to the prices that they were previously, meaning first-time buyers, end of this year, next year, and the years ahead will now have to compete on more expensive properties. So what happens then? Are we just pushing the problem further down the road? It's honestly crazy when you think about it. We're trying to make housing more accessible, but every move seems to make it harder for the next wave of buyers. What do you think? Drop a comment. What's going to happen to the so-called affordable part of the market? Do you think the 5% deposit scheme was a good thing or a bad thing? Or is it just making the whole system even harder to keep up with? And make sure to hit that subscribe button. This is your daily property update, your 5 to 7 minute update on the property market every single day so that you can be a property insider.